Ladies and gentlemen, there are so many South Sudanese today who says that there is a deliberate move by the President of the Republic of South Sudan to reward those who fought in the struggle by bringing them close to power, by giving them political positions, but also rewarding their daughters and sons and relatives by giving them positions in power. And they have given us so many examples. Some of them include, they brought in a typical example that is clearly seen by everyone, where the president brought his own daughter, Adut Salva and give her the position of a senior presidential envoy on special programs. They also brought an example of the former Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs and President's political advisor called Manyang Duke, where the daughter was given a position as a cabinet minister for trade. They didn't end there. They went ahead and also gave us an example of the recently reinstated Vice President Economic Cluster, James Waniga, where the son, Kose Iga, was given a position as an executive director in one of the government corporation, I think one that deals with roads, the Roads Authority. And this has made so many people ask so many questions. Why is the president giving positions to children of the liberators? And perhaps these are not the only examples. There are many other examples that are not at this high level. But these are the most visible ones that can easily be noticed and seen by the public. And so many people ask, why is the president doing that? Yet there are thousands, perhaps millions of South Sudanese in the country who have the qualification to serve in the same positions as well. But in this video, I want to try to disagree a little bit with such people. You know, one thing that people also need to understand is that apart from these children of the liberators that are given this position, apart from them being children of these liberators, they are South Sudanese. Apart from the fact that they are children to the liberators, they are South Sudanese. They are South Sudanese. They have gone to school. They possess the qualifications. And therefore, they are protected and have the same rights like any other South Sudanese citizen, protected by the Constitution. They have the right to serve in whatsoever position that they are appointed to. That is one thing. Whereas it shouldn't have been that maybe there is an intentional or consistent rewards given to these children. People have a different view that perhaps if the president is giving this position, he shouldn't be giving to many, but at least a few of them and other positions as well reserved for other South Sudanese. I understand your cry. I understand your argument. I understand what you're saying. But at this moment, in this video, I want us to leave the discussion about these guys being the children of the liberators. On this video, I want to give you 3 typical examples of South Sudanese recently appointed who are occupying high positions in government and how these 3 individuals could mean a different thing to the politics of our country, to the future of our country. And that can only be done if they understand the reasons why their fathers went and fought for the liberation of this country. Among all the appointments that Kiir has made over the months and years, there are 3 appointments that I'm looking at it in a very different view. And I hope that the way how I'm looking at this is the same intentions why the president appointed these people. And these three individuals include: one, Adut Salva Kiir Mayardit, the daughter to the president. I have said this over and over again, that Adut Salva Kiir Mayardit, apart from her being the daughter to the president, she is a South Sudanese, a well and educated South Sudanese. She has the right to serve in whatsoever position she's appointed to. Perhaps what you look at here is that Adut, being young, being an exposed lady, she could represent the future of the country. If she conducts herself well in that position, she could mean the hope for the country. Being a young person means she understands the cry of the young people, means she is relevant to the young people. She can appeal to the young people. She understands the circumstances, the situations that young people go through, and she knows and understands the future of the young people in the world, what they want to do. And she could use the position that she is in today to drive that narrative in the government and create change for the young people. Very important. Another second person that I was impressed when I saw him coming back to the cabinet is the son to the former liberation fight, the founding father of the nation, Mabior Garang. Just like Adut Salva Kiir Mayardit, Mabior Garang similarly is a South Sudanese, protected under the rules of South Sudanese. He has the right to serve in any position he's appointed to. He's an educated person as well, well exposed. And I have no doubt at all that Garang, the Mabior, represents the future of the country. And he has the intention, a goodwill for the country. He has good intentions for the country. In fact, if there is one person who must conduct himself well, who must be looking for a better South Sudan, who must be desperate for a better South Sudan, is no one but Garang the Mabior, the son to Dr. John Garang. Because this is a son to the founding father of the country. He must know the reasons why his father went to the bush and fought for the country, for the liberation of the country. And if there is anyone who understands better than any South Sudanese what this country deserves, what South Sudanese deserve, it is Garang the Mabior. And when I saw him appointed as a cabinet minister, I was excited because I understand this is a person who knows what South Sudanese want. This is a person who knows the reason why South Sudanese went to the bush and fought for their free country, fought for the independence of a country, fought for referendum and secession from the Sudan. And if there is anyone who can represent that future that Garang once held, it's Garang the Mabior. And therefore, these two, apart from them being children to the liberators' fighters, they should have the interests of the people in their mind. But not only Adut and Garang the Mabior, one other person that impressed me when I saw that he got back into the government is none other than Aten Awake Aten. Aten Awake Aten is a future for this country. He has spent much of his time before even coming to government, not criticizing the government, but asking for good governance. He was a very good critic of the government. And I still hold the view that even when he is appointed, even when he is given a bone to his mouth, he will not back down. He will not chicken out from telling the president exactly what he intends to do. And I was very impressed when I saw one of his videos saying that being the Minister of ICT, he is going to make the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology as a home for journalists, but not as a place where journalists get scared to. And he promised journalists that if any of them get arrested for doing their job, they should always call unto him, and he will go personally and visit them wherever they are. In fact, that is a very, very good start. It's a very good man with good intention. And being the Minister of Information, he can initiate policies. He can initiate policies that can easily create a space in the country that allow for freedom of speech, for freedom of the press, for freedom of association. Because countries always prosper, countries always progress, countries and nations always develop when there is a space given for competition of ideas. And these competitions of ideas can only be done through public debates, where you oppose your contrary ideas. If the government has an idea and the opposition has their own idea, you can go on a public space and debate about it, persuade the public about your intentions, what these policies can create, what are the impact, what is the negative and positive part of these policies. And this can be done when we do have people with minds of attaining work, not backing down, but going head on and telling the president what needs to be done. And therefore, when I see Adut Salva Kiir, when I see Mabior Garang, when I see Athena Wake, these are relatively young people with progressive mind, who are exposed to how things are done in the outside world, who are exposed to how countries are supposed to be run, who are exposed to principles of good governance, who are exposed to what democracy means. And therefore, when I see them occupying such important places in power, it does not give any doubt to me that we do have hope for our country in this South Sudanese. And this is upon now to these three, to Adut, Mabior, and Garang, that whereas you occupy these positions, you must understand that you're representing the future of the young people, the thousands, perhaps millions of young South Sudanese who are looking for people to hear their voices, who are looking for people to represent and forward their voices to the offices that are high. And you occupy this position, an advisor, cabinet ministers. These are important positions. You sit in cabinet meetings. You initiate policies that impact on the future of the country. So these are very prominent positions. And when I see these three people, I see a hope. I see a transition to a new South Sudan. And I believe that they know that the positions they are occupying are very important. And there are so many South Sudanese who are looking up to them.